There is just a ton of optimism out there among the financial class. As I read and look through all kinds of resources, by the way, are you aware of just how many resources I check every day in order to bring you the best information out there? Part of my job is also to parse the true from the not so true. And I am flabbergasted by how much nonsense there is in major resources like Forbes and Bloomberg and others. Maybe you already knew that. I guess I did too, but man, anyway, surprisingly, I find Yahoo to be among the better media resources right now when it comes to financial matters and stuff from the Tesla and Elon Musk world that we all live in. And so Yahoo will be one of my points that I'll be dealing with here just in a second. Say, listen, I got to thank you guys a ton. We blew it out. We crushed the 100 that we were shooting for by Monday on today. We passed 100 and then some and then some. And I just want to thank you. We had, I don't know, maybe 10 folks already signed up today for Patreon. And so I came up with a new thing. Maybe you've already heard talk about this. I am giving away audiobooks. You've got the 4 books right there. You get to choose. Everybody that's already joined up, I think we're at 107 now. Everybody that's already signed up is going to get to choose one of those 4 audiobooks. And then if you sign up, you're going to get the same choice. And we've got one more really hot deal. If you want to join up at the $50 level, a copy of the Elon Musk mission in hardcover with my signature on it for whatever that's worth. Okay. Like, subscribe, notify, you know what to do. Okay. So I'm not going to bury the lead. Let's go right into this super positive article from Yahoo. They are quoting a group called Guru Focus. You can find them, I think, at gurufocus.com. They say, I'm going to just read some here. As of July 28, 2023, Tesla's stock price stands at $265.64. While the GF, the Guru Focus value, which is an estimation of the stock's fair value, is $448.91, sounding a lot closer to my 410 or 420 that I reported on a couple of weeks ago. Well, they say this discrepancy prompts a deeper analysis of Tesla's value, integrating key company details with a financial assessment. All right, so this is how they do it. They say it's a unique measure of a stock's intrinsic value calculated based on 3 key factors: historical trading multiples, a Guru Focus adjustment factor related to past performance and growth, and a future business performance estimate. The GF value line on our summary page offers an overview of the stock's ideal fair trading value. At its current price of $265.64 per share and a market cap of $843.1 billion, Tesla appears to be significantly undervalued according to our method of calculating. I'm paraphrasing. This suggestion that the long-term return on Tesla stock is likely to be much higher. This suggests, that the long-term return is going to be much higher than its business growth. So then they say, here's our assessment. Before investing in a company, it's crucial to evaluate its financial strength. Yeah, duh. Okay. Companies with weak financial health pose a higher risk of permanent loss to investors. Key indicators like the cash to debt ratio and interest coverage can provide insights into a company's financial strength. Tesla's cash to debt ratio of 3.97% outperforms 81.27% of companies in the vehicles and parts industry, indicating strong financial health. Now, we've been talking about that for a very long time. There are very few companies that have $24 billion in the bank and a couple of $1 billion or less in total indebtedness in long-term debt. Obviously, they've got accounts payable as well. But in any case, this is a very, very strong balance sheet. They go on to say, under profitability and growth, investing in profitable companies tends to carry less risk, especially when the company demonstrates consistent profitability over the long term. Tesla, with revenues of $94 billion and an EPS, actually they'll be hitting $100 billion this year, and an EPS of $3.53 in the past 12 months, has been profitable for 3 out of the past 10 years. Oh, and also the last 3 years, and where they were unprofitable in the first 7. Its operating margin of 13.49% is better than 88% of companies in the vehicles and parts industry indicating fair profitability. Yes, I would say that would be fair. They would be not only ahead of the folks in the vehicles and parts industry, but pretty much everybody. I can remember my entire life believing that if you could get 10% bottom line, yeah, you were doing just great. Company growth is a crucial factor in valuation. Faster growing companies, especially those with profitable growth, create more value for shareholders. So here we have, I'm not talking, this is me, not them. We have Tesla, who not only is growing at 35 to 50% a year, but also is investing $9 billion a year. And then in addition to that is throwing off profits and building up their free cash flow. Yeah, all three at once. Tesla's 3-year average annual revenue growth is 36.4%, outperforming 93.69% of companies in the vehicles and parts industry. Its 3-year average of EBITDA growth rate is 83.9, ranking better than 97% of industry peers, indicating strong growth. All right, then there's finally ROIC and WACC. I've told, if you listen to this channel, you know I've commonly, this ROIC number is so important. So they say comparing a company's return on invested capital, ROIC, to its weighted cost of capital, WACC, is another way to assess profitability. ROIC measures how well a company generates cash flow relative to the capital it has invested in its business. And I did a big, long video about how Tesla is only probably second to Apple right now in terms of their ROIC, and very likely, based on their trajectory, going to pass Apple at some point, which Apple is sitting at almost a 50, and Tesla, as it points out here, is at 24.6. So if ROIC exceeds WACC, it suggests the company is creating value for its shareholders. Over the past 12 months, Tesla's ROIC was 24%. 24.6, while its WACC was 19.8. In conclusion, Tesla stock appears to be significantly overvalued. The company's financial condition is strong, its profitability is fair, and its growth ranks better than 97.36% of companies in its category. Yes, okay. I just thought I should report that to you. I thought you'd enjoy hearing it. Okay, well, everybody's talking about the Goldilocks economy. You should have listened to Larry Goldberg and me this morning. Somebody said that would be not the Goldilocks economy, but the Larry Goldberg-Locks. I think I blew it. I don't think I did it as well as they did. Anyway, a slight uptick in economists' predictions about future rate hikes is one little fly in the ointment. In other words, we had about 22% or less of economists who felt that there would be one more rate hike later this year from the Fed. Now that's creeping up. It's not significantly up. I don't think there's going to be any further increases from the Fed. I believe it's like zero chance. But of course, that's not true. There is a chance they could do the wrong thing, or that between now and then the CPI and the PCE reports could come in stronger than we're expecting them to come in, and that would force their hand for another 25 basis points. As Larry Goldberg pointed out this morning, they can kill this Goldilocks situation. It is really Goldilocks. They need to find a way to they need to soften up. They need to get more dovish. Anyway, Prooflation's index is going sideways. The last couple, it's been going up after it had gone down a lot. It has been going up a little bit and now sideways. The oil is the big issue. Transportation and then food and beverages are the only two that are going up. Natural gas, all of a sudden, which has been very, very flat, natural gas is up over 1% over the weekend. That is not a good sign. That indicates that natural gas is finally, people are actually switching out of oil. Well, I mean, that's a good. So people will be switching out of oil to natural gas when they can, because oil has gotten so high. And of course, the oil price is now feeding down into gasoline, and gasoline has gone up dramatically this week. So transportation, now, you know, I'm one of the few guys you're going to hear talking about this. If you follow this channel, you know that I'm always talking about transportation as a leading indicator. If there's more trucks on the road and those trucks are full, and more trains on the train tracks and those are full, and more containers coming from other countries and going out to other countries, whatever's happening in transportation is a leading indicator of where the economy is headed. Well, transportation stocks the transportation index is at near an all-time high. I think it's 1% away from an all-time high. And this is really, really good news. Now, transportation, our stocks are looking ahead, as all indices, all stock indices do, and all stocks do, looking ahead. Actual freight information, actual freight tonnage right now, this is what I've been following for months and talk to you about all the time. It's not quite as good, but it's heading in the right direction. So May and June were both finally up, and now the direction is going in the right way. The American Trucking Association's advanced seasonally adjusted for higher truck tonnage index rose 2.1% in June after increasing 1.2 in May. In June, the index equaled 116, in 2015 is their 100, their basic line, if you will, and right now it's at 116, which is obviously way ahead of that 2015 number, and it was at 114 in May. The tonnage index increased in both May and June. It remains in recession territory, said ATA chief economist Bob Costello. The index continues to fall from a year earlier and is off from 1.9 from its recent peak. Now, let's remember about what is recession territory. Recession territory doesn't mean that it's horrible for the industry. It means it's off of where it was a year ago. Well, a year ago, trucking was doing really, really well. Okay, so this would be a recession compared to an extreme high. Multiple factors have caused a recession in freight, including stagnant consumer spending on goods, lower home construction, falling factory output, and shipper consolidating freight into fewer shipments compared with the frenzy during the goods buying spree. Did you see my report last week in terms of how to be more efficient? That's another factor that everybody's forgetting about, including the Fed. It appears, even though he's been mentioning it a little bit, as we get more efficient when we're not in this crazy environment that we were in, this is also affecting trucking. And so they're getting more efficient, and that's a good thing. Compared with June 2022, the SA index decreased 0.8, which was the fourth straight year-over-year decrease. In May, the index was down 2.4 from a year earlier. The not seasonally adjusted index, which represents the change in tonnage actually hauled, equaled 120.8 in June, which is 1.8 above the May level. All right, so trucking, it concludes, trucking serves as a barometer of the U.S. economy, representing 72% of all the tonnage carried by all modes of domestic freight transportation, including manufactured and retail goods. Trucks hauled, you don't care about that. So what you care about is trucking is going up. It's one more indicator. It's a leading indicator. It's going in the right direction. It's very likely that it will continue to go in this direction, and that's good for the economy. Last piece of news on this particular day is that Ford, according to a headline, is embracing hybrids. And then if you read the actual content below it, it turns out that, Ford's CEO is saying that they're going to come out with a couple of new brands, a couple of new hybrid vehicles. The only thing I can figure is that these are already in the pipeline. They've already invested in the tooling. They've already invested in the design. They've already got everything ready to go. And so they're just going to come out with them anyway. And so what is he going to do? Is he going to say, oh, well, we don't believe in hybrids for the future, but we're going to put these two cars out anyway? No, he's going to hype them and talk about the benefits of hybrids. Okay, hybrids are not awful. They're just not the future. And every market in the world is telling us that. Everywhere that hybrids are put up against BEVs, as BEV pricing has come down, the hybrid market is just collapsing in Europe, in China, etc. That is the future. Ford might need to get some of their costs out of that stuff that they've already done. And so they're going to see how many of these they can move. And maybe if they have a cute car and something that's the right price, it'll move some metal, and that'll be good overall. I'm not in their boardroom. I am not in their accounting department, so it's hard for me to know what their overall plan is here. All right. If you missed my interview with Larry Goldberg this morning, I know it's almost an hour long. You want to go back and see that interview. Do not, find a time, plug your ears in, take your hour walk. And that's what I do. That's what I listen to most of the stuff. Okay. We go super deep into subject after subject. And you know that Larry is a really, really smart guy. So you really want to listen to that. I'll put a card above. And then again, one last time, thank you for the help on Patreon. The new deal is better than the old deal because you get a free copy. Pick the book you want, and you get it in audio. Probably at least a 15, might be as high as a $20, $25 value. I haven't really looked recently at what the audiobooks are selling for, but I know it tends to be in that $15 to $25 range. And so all you got to do is join. Take your 7 days of free trial if you want. There's lots of original content. I just put up a thing today, in fact, something that I've been doing for years and years and years and years is I've had this little 7-point method for hitting your goals, or for actually, when you put out a resolution, you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose 5 pounds. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And then how do you actually get there? What are these 7 rules that can help you get there? I've been sending that out on emails and in books and everywhere else for years and years, and people have really, really liked it. So I put that up on Patreon today. So you can, again, 7-day free trial, go up there, take a look at the 7 rules for making your goals, take a look at some of the other videos that I've put up there. And I will continue to be putting unique content up on Patreon, and also putting things up a day or two sometimes before they appear here. Anyway, thanks again for the 107 of you who are now part of the team. And if you want a free book, you know what to do. This is Randy Kirk, and it has been amazing, fantastic, unbelievable talking to you today.